Okay. Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco is here with Binks, and we are continuing Steins Gate. Today is going to be a slightly shorter stream than usual, but we are in the meat of things, so I'm sure we'll still get a lot done.
Yes. I'm excited to see how how much more crazy this will get.
So, last time we had gone through a whole series of trying to go back to try and save Mayushi, but we kept failing until finally Okabe talked to Kurisu, or more accurately, Kurisu just figured out on her own that something was going on just by the way that he was acting, and he finally confided everything in her, and she gave him a plan in which they would continue to go further, a little further back, or as far back as they could, which is only as we can only go as far back as the creation of the time leap machine. So we've just been slowly trying to gather a bit more information. We finally found out some things about Suzuha, who overheard us talking about the future and how Mayushi is going to be killed. And she ran off to the quote-unquote satellite that had crashed into the building, which we now know is a time machine that she was using, and she is in fact John Titer. So she's been explaining a bit to us about the future and how CERN is pretty much in control of everything, and even though there aren't any wars or anything of the like, it's still a dystopia in which anyone who steps out of line just disappears. So, yeah, I believe that's where we left off. She was explaining to us what the correct theory of time is. That's the key. Hello, twin. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Your power is the key to freeing the world from CERN's rule. And this power that she's referring to is how, even when we were just using D-mails, Okabe is still able to retain his memories.
I also like how last stream you and I had a hive mind moment that was scary.
Yeah, we synchronized that a bit too well. Like hearing it so high pitched and so perfectly harmonized kind of like makes my ear ring a little.
Right?
You have the power of a god. My power? If you escape Attractor Field Alpha and reach a Beta world line, then the result will change. I feel a shiver of excitement. So there's hope. I can save Mayuri. Suzuha nods firmly. Then I must do it. I have no choice.
Wait a second.
Kurisu, however, is not so enthusiastic.
How do we know this is all true? What if Amane-san is just making stuff up?
What? I'm not making stuff up.
Calm down. I'm not trying to pick a fight. But I still have questions. 1. How do you know about Okabe's power? 2. How did you know Okabe and I were in Akihabara in 2010? Don't you know a little too much for someone born in 2017?
She has a point. Everyone looks to Suzuha. It was written in Dad's will. His will?
What do you mean?
His will was what made me decide to time travel. My dad was one of the founding members of the Resistance. He hid from CERN and researched time travel on his own. He wanted to change the future. But CERN killed him. That's why I'm here, to fulfill his dream.
I'm sorry.
Suzuha doesn't look at Kurisu. She still seems to have a grudge against her. Kurisu would never actively cooperate with CERN. I know that, but I just can't say it in front of Suzuha. For some reason, Suzuha really does see Kurisu as responsible for the problems of the future. But if that's the case, why doesn't Suzuha just kill Kurisu? Wouldn't that change the future too? Maybe she can't. World lines converge. No matter how hard I struggle, Mayuri dies. Similarly, it may be impossible for Suzuha to kill Kurisu, no matter how much she may want to. Suzuha clears her throat as if to change the subject.
Akihabara, 2010. The time machine created here accelerates CERN's own time machine research. We have to stop that from happening in order to guide history in a new direction.
Stop it? How?
CERN already knows about us. That's clear from Moeka's attack.
Dad believed that the ultimate cause was the very first email you sent with your time machine.
An email? It wasn't because they caught us hacking.
Like I said, nobody can catch my hacking.
Which email are you talking about? I know. Wasn't it the email Okarin sent that said Chris-chan died?
Right. The email I sent to Daru right after Dr. Nakabachi's conference.
Oh, that.
Back then, we hadn't yet realized that the phone wave name subject to change was a time machine.
CERN probably intercepted that email and realized what it meant.
I'm actually confused now because him sending that email shouldn't have been a D-mail, right? Like, how would it have changed the future? Because he sent it to Daru, right?
Yes, he sent it to Daru. I can't recall.
Hopefully they'll explain it, or I don't know.
Yeah. It's been a while. They were already on to us back then. Come to think of it, the first time I met Moeka was the day after I sent that email.
We really jumped in the deep end, huh?
Mayushi's good at the breaststroke. I bet you are.
Alright, then do a sexy underwater pose.
But how did they intercept our email? Hundreds of millions of emails are sent around the world each day. That's what confused me, too.
CERN uses the Echelon network to collect communications pertaining to time travel research worldwide.
Did they just have it like any time that Kurisu's name was mentioned or something? This is a Chuny term. Echelon. According to conspiracy theorists, Echelon is an advanced signals interception system based in the United States and operated by the National Security Agency, NSA. However, American authorities have never publicly admitted to Echelon's existence, and no proof that it exists have ever been found. Participating countries allegedly include the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but not France. As an ally of the United States, Japan can allow the construction of domestic Echelon stations in exchange for access to the intercepted data. The Elephant Cage antenna array, located at Misawa Air Base in Aomori, Japan, is rumored to be one such station. These stations are said to intercept, collect, and analyze a wide range of signals, including private cell phone transmissions. So we don't even know if this really exists.
Let's see. Echelon
I've heard
originally.
the term echelon before, but
Yeah.
not like this.
Let's see. Echelon, originally a secret government code name, is a surveillance program, parentheses, signals, intelligence, / SIG collection and analysis network operated by the 5 signatory states to the UK-US Security Agreement, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US, also known as the Five Eyes. Created in the late 1960s to monitor the military and diplomatic communications of the Soviet Union and its Eastern Bloc allies during the Cold War, the Echelon project became formally established in 1971. By the end of the 20th century, the system referred to Echelon had greatly expanded. Ha ha ha.
Interesting.
Oops. Wait, there was another one. Parallel world, a universe that exists separate from ours. It is believed that some parallel worlds may be strikingly similar to ours, even containing duplicates of ourselves. Echelon! It really exists! As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications and they terrify me. No one else seems to get what Suzuha is saying, though.
Echelon sees everything. Any transmission that even hints at time travel is filtered and sent to CERN.
For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future. Oh, it was because of the timestamps on the emails.
We need to find the record of that email in CERN's database and delete it. If you do that, CERN will never know you exist. Their time machine won't be completed in 2034. If we're lucky, the program may be shut down entirely.
In other words, deleting that data will take us to the attractor field where CERN doesn't build a time machine.
There wasn't any data like that when we hacked CERN's database. The IBN 5100.
Oh! Of course, CERN's IBN 5100 database!
That's probably where they store the data from the Echelon.
So that's what it is. Damn it, Daru! Why didn't we use the IBN 5100 earlier? Because we didn't get it in this, timeline.
We never had one?
What are you talking about? I got one, remember?
Huh?
Right. That was on a different world line. On this world line, I never found the IBN 5100.
My mission is to make sure you acquire an IBN 5100.
You have one? Suzuha shakes her head.
I'm going to 1975 to obtain one.
1975, the year the IBN 5100 went to market. I know because John Titer in 2000 said that was his mission. Was that John Titer Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBN 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump to a beta world line, where CERN never finds us, and their time machine is never completed. Mayuri won't have to die. Alright, we need to move fast. How soon can you leave, Suzuha?
I was trying to leave when you caught me, but...
Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Daru, but I can see the blood staining my handkerchief.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it hurts to look at that. Maybe we should get her to a doctor. Right, your time machine is broken.
Can you fix it?
No, I just ride it. My dad's the one who built it.
Okay, then we really need to find your dad.
Yeah.
I've memorized the manual, so I know how it works, but...
I feel... I know this is a topic we were trying to avoid last stream, but I don't know if I should even start throwing out there what I've been thinking in regards to her dad.
You should think it. I was just worried people were gonna spoil it for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it has to be someone we've encountered because you know how these things go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already like thinking of like who would make sense, someone like attached to the group somehow. But then I'm like trying to remember, did she say she knows what her dad looks like?
I don't think she said.
Because it's like, I don't know if she would recognize her dad or not. Because then I'm like, oh, what if it's someone we know or encounter, but then if she doesn't know what he looks like, then that really doesn't help us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a weird thought that I was like, oh, what if it's Lukaku when Luca was, male,
Mm-hmm.
but then I don't know if that would still work because if the gender changed and all of that. So I'm just like, I don't know. Luca doesn't look anything like her. So then I'm thinking like physical traits, but then I'm also like, oh, but they could throw you off with that because maybe she just looks like her mom,
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
it's interesting.
It's also
sus.
possible, like, even if she does know what he looked like during her time, since he'll be so much younger here, she might not recognize him.
Yeah. And it's just weird too, because you would think she would know the name. So if it's someone we know and she hasn't reacted like, oh, that's my dad, then maybe we don't know her dad? I don't know. My brain keeps going all over.
That doesn't mean she knows how to repair it, and there's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology.
Maybe we can use the time leap machine to go back before Amane-san's time machine broke.
Wait, you're gonna use a time leap machine? Wasn't the plan not to experiment?
I still haven't told Dado about my time leaping. There's no time to explain. We'll use it if the situation demands. Do you know when it broke, Suzuha?
No, but it was probably the rain a few days ago. It's supposed to be airtight, but the inside was all wet when I checked it today. Maybe it made a hole when you crashed into Radicon. That wasn't a crash. The coordinates were slightly off, so it just appeared there. It's not exactly the most stable machine.
Anyone remember when it rained?
The morning of the 10th, just before dawn.
Damn. The time leap machine can only cover 48 hours in a single leap. And the time leap machine was completed today, the 13th, at 2 p.m. That means we can't go back further than 2 p.m. on the 11th. Damn it! We can't get there with a time leap machine. I thought we had a glimmer of hope.
The other thing I thought, I should let go of this thought, but I'm like, I hope I'm wrong. Like, if Tenoji was her dad, because, that's someone we've interacted with,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe, like, that's why she's working for him, is that they're like, oh, let's have her working with her dad, but she doesn't realize he's her dad. But then they had that perverted moment, and I'm like, I hope that's not her dad.
I wouldn't put it past anime to do something like
Right.
that.
I think we should try to fix it.
Yeah, it's a time machine, so we have plenty of time, right?
Kurisu Suzuha and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30. That's barely enough time to sneak into Radicon, let alone fix Suzuha's time machine. Maybe I should leap now to 2 p.m. on the 11th, and we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine. You're all hungry, aren't you? You should be.
What's this all of a sudden?
My Yishi's hungry.
As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen out of my wallet. Mayuri, Daru, I leave the shopping to you. We can come up with a plan while we eat.
Wow, Okarin, what are we gonna do with all this money?
Buy food. Lots of food. Use it all.
You just calmly hand over a 10,000 yen bill? Wow, Okarin, you make it look easy. That's why we love you. That's why we admire you.
Since when does he have so much money?
Mayuri and Daru leave in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen would work. Christina, tighter.
Now he's gonna call her tighter, okay.
Tighter? Is that me?
Who else?
Why are you calling me that now?
Because you're the one behind Tighter's mask.
Well, yeah, but...
Just give up. Okabe rarely calls anyone by their name.
Oh yeah, he always calls me part-time warrior for some reason.
Listen, you two. I'm going to leave to 2 p.m. on the 11th. After Tighter explains herself again, we'll start repairs on the time machine. Our goal is to have it working by this time today.
Is that the best plan?
It's better than trying to fix it when we only have 2 hours left. If it doesn't work, I'll just keep repeating the same 2 days.
I'm sorry.
Tighter, we're counting on you to get us an IBN 5100. Never forget, I'm not doing this for you, and I'm not doing it for the future. My mission is to save Mayuri. Call me self-righteous if you want. However, I'm doing this my way. Kurisu and Suzuha give me an encouraging nod in agreement. Good, then let's begin.
You're not going to name the operation?
That's cute. Who cares about that? This isn't a game. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance.
He's abandoned his Chuni self. You couldn't find a good Norse mythology-themed name?
Why Norse mythology?
I don't think there's a deep meaning behind it. Chunibyo patients just love Germanic names for some reason. It's true.
Now that you mention it, most of our operation names in the Resistance have Germanic names too. Whenever I ask, they say it's tradition.
Now back to me thinking, is Okabe her dad? So there's still Chunibyo in 2036. It will never end, Kurisu.
Cut the chatter. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Kurisu sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mayuri returns, I leap. Excuse me. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice. First to 2 p.m. on the 13th, when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radikan to confirm my story. After she realizes that I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do now is try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine.
Let's go take a look.
Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping.
Hold on, everyone.
Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab.
Guys, aren't we forgetting something?
Like what?
What about Suzu-san's dad?
Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away.
That doesn't matter now, does it?
It does too. I mean, it'll take time to fix the time machine, won't it? We should help Suzu-san find her dad in the meantime. Right?
But when I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks.
Nice. Don't be like that, Okarin. You have to keep your promise.
What promise?
We promised, remember? We said we'd all look for Suzu-san's dad.
That's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father. Yeah, I remember.
I know Suzu-san has a mission and stuff, but I think she also came because she really wanted to meet her dad. Yeah, so if she hasn't met him, then she wouldn't know what he looks like. Okay. Mayushi wants to make that happen.
Guess he must have died before she was born?
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't use his real name anymore because they're in a resistance, so maybe that's why she doesn't know his name.
If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse.
Shina Mayuri, you're such a nice girl.
Suzuha sniffles.
You're right. I thought I could find him if I came to this town. I know that he was in Akihabara in 2010.
So your father's real?
Of course he is. At this age, he's probably still young and cool.
So it's not Tenoji.
His name was Barrel Tighter, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, a foreigner?
No, I'm pretty sure he's Japanese. Barrel Tighter is his code name in the Resistance. I don't think he's using it yet.
So that's why Suzuha called herself John Tighter.
I don't know his real name. Some daughter, huh?
Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile.
He died before he could tell me.
Hearing that, I realize how hellish the world she came from must be. What about your surname, Amane?
That was my mother's maiden name.
So you have no leads.
Leads. Oh, there is one thing.
Suzuha clasps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out. Hello, Sign. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Sign. A pin?
I've seen Suzuha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag.
There's something written on it.
It reads OSHM A 7010.
This belonged to my dad.
A memento.
Google it, Daru. Daru runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
He was here in Akihabara, so I think we can exclude the foreign sites.
Okay, got it.
He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. But even then, none of the results look relevant.
Nothing.
But this has to be some kind of hint.
With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
Okay, all in favor of helping Suzu-san find her dad?
I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Mayuri's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now.
Ooh, I'm glad you had fun on your date.
Oh! Very nice. No objections.
Thanks, Okarin.
Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzuha find her father.
Everyone, thank you. But I want to be clear that my mission to 1975 comes first. That was my dad's final wish, after all. So if we still haven't found him by the time the repairs are complete, I think we should give up. Is that okay?
Are you sure?
If we still haven't found him by then, it just wasn't meant to be.
It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that.
But how are we gonna fix it if she said she doesn't know how to fix it?
I guess we're just gonna rely on Kurisu and her and Itaru to try and figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
So, where do we start?
The pin is our only hint. We'll hit every store in Akiba that sells things like this. Maybe someone will know where it came from. Because I think, like, even if they do find her dad, I don't know how much he would be able to help since this is a much younger him.
Yeah.
What kind of stores?
Akiba is full of niche stores where you can find strange and cool accessories. It's hard to sneak into Radicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 p.m. on the 13th. If she's late, it would affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she has wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father. How does it look? I call to Daru, who's examining the flooded satellite. I mean, time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat, and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone out there were to see us here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care not to be noticed.
It's so freaking hot in there. It's worse than a sauna. Spend too much time in there and I'll turn into Daru jerky. By the way, it's not gonna fall or anything, right?
The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about.
So they put support wires and they're not really guarding it, so what the hell? They just leave it there.
They're like, hey, no, it's getting us tourist money. Leave it there.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the building owners don't give a damn.
Good insurance, maybe? Does it
Maybe.
cover being smashed into by a satellite?
All right.
Can it be fixed?
Well, I still don't know for sure, but there's one thing I noticed just now. It's built kind of like the phone wave.
That means there's a chance, right?
I said I'm not sure. I need to poke around some more.
Daru, super hacker. Everything depends on your skills now. You're the super hacker who will save the world in 2036. People will worship you instead of Kurisu, the mother of the time machine.
It's hacker! How many times do I have to tell you?
Anyway, you have 2 days. Do whatever it takes, Daru. I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. Your only hope.
No promises, man. And why 2 days?
Well, because that's when Mayuri will die. But I can't say that.
In 2 days, the weather conditions will be perfect for creating the ring singularity. If we miss that window, we won't have another chance until next year.
Nice excuse, Suzuha. Precisely.
Fix it in 2 days? That's just nuts.
But if you do, you'll earn the right to a date with fairness. Nani? Can you fix it?
No problem.
Great. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Fairness.
Do we have access to seeing Ferris's real name?
I think she was
We don't
like
have,
very
a profile.
let's see, maybe open address book. Fairness? No.
Dang now, I can't remember her real name. And then I'm like thinking, is Ferris her mother? But I don't think her name was Amane, right?
I'm trying to see if we have. No. We also ended up ignoring a lot of texts.
Yeah.
But I think that was something we found out in person. OSHM A7010. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. We check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. We even check nearby neighborhoods like Ueno and Asakusa. Nothing. Suzuha and I return to the lab with heavy hearts.
Welcome back.
Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone.
From the looks on your faces, I guess you didn't find anything.
Where's Daru?
He hasn't come back yet. It's already dark, so maybe he went straight home? Uh-oh.
It's too dark to work at Radicon now. We can't use lights because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father?
I feel bad. There's no time for this.
It's not for you. We're doing it to save Mayuri.
Yeah.
I start up Daru's computer and search for the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. He didn't mention anything about calling, but maybe we can just do it ourselves? No.
Yeah, because it's like a little worrisome when someone's missing.
Yeah, especially in this situation. I start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There is a pin collecting group on a site called Frepara where everyone shows off their collections. I post there asking for information. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Is it CERN? I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I check the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m. You came to wake me up. Thanks.
I didn't do it for you.
I asked her to wake you up, Okabe Rintaro. There's something I want to show you.
I realize that there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me. What's this?
A divergence meter. The numbers indicate the divergence value of the current world line.
The meter displays 0.337187%.
Divergence is measured from my original world line, which corresponds to 0.
You made this?
No, I brought it with me from 2036.
These are Nixie tubes, right? Whoever made this has taste. I'd happily dub it Future Gadget number 9.
How exactly does it work? It shouldn't be possible to measure changes like that.
Suzuha shrugs.
I don't know either.
You don't know?
Can you guess who made it?
Her
How
father.
should I know?
You did, Okabe Rintaro.
Oh.
Huh?
You made it, 11 years ago from now. It apparently works the same way your special power does.
Huh.
So this meter lets other people check world line divergence.
I wish. I'm pretty sure only Okabe Rintaro would notice if the numbers changed.
What? Then there's no point. Make something useful for once, Okabe. Get him.
I ignore Kurisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
Only the person who made it knows how it works. Wait 11 years, I'm sure he'll figure it out by then.
Have you met me in the future? She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily.
No, never.
Hmm?
Oh. So, why are you showing me this?
When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line.
1%.
Right. Reach 1% divergence, and you'll save Shina Mayuri.
I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6%. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point, and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
You can have it. No point in me carrying it around. I hope you'll find a use for it.
Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spent the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut, from Otako stores packed with anime goods to souvenirs shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I'm unable to find anything that resembles Suzuha's pen. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see the OSHM logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I'd better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should have used English. Our eyes meet. His are bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away.
Is that her dad? Because she has really bright green eyes.
Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with. Hey, master! I am mad scientist Suku, son of a bitch.
Wow. Why? Okabe, why? Oh, I wish he had voice acted this, because Mamoru Miyano, sometimes they make him speak English and it's always funny. But like, oh my god.
Oh, wait, is there maybe... Because I have the thing disabled. Play voice? Or maybe I need to re-enable it on... Options, configuration. Oops. Huh. It is.
I guess not then. Oh well, it was pretty great.
Alas.
Can I help you?
He smiles a wide, toothy smile. Nice teeth, and answers in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction.
So you called him a son of a bitch on purpose then, okay.
I have a question if you don't mind. Okabe only has one language and it's going ham. Yes. Correct,
Yep.
twin. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket. Does this look familiar? The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in that exaggerated manner typical of Westerners.
Oh, is that typical of us?
I want to know where it came from. Can you help me find out?
Remember. Sorry, it's a little difficult, eh?
What is he saying?
By the way, where'd you get this thing? Oh, is he supposed to be Southern twang? What?
That's what I want to know. I'll compensate you.
I'm sorry.
He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch with me if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
Okabe Rintaro.
Suzuha's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite. Dr. P... No, wait, that's that cola! That disgusting swivel that Coco drinks.
How dare he! I'm gonna punch him.
So, want a drink?
I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on her way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here? Anything?
Nope. So, what was with your English back there?
Yeah, he was super rude, right?
It sounded dumb. So cool. Is that standard English in this era?
Of course not.
Oh, so it's an Okabe Rintaro original. There's no overseas travel in my time, so I wouldn't know.
No overseas travel? What, you mean at all?
Pretty much. Travel permits are hard to get, and they'd never issue one for a vacation. I've never seen a foreigner before coming to this time. You're weird looking.
So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like that a few centuries ago, too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like CERN sent international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzuha's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it! Why can't we find any more information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzuha's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save my Yuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Kurisu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? The only thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father. Maybe this pin is newer than we think. I mean, maybe it hasn't been made yet. Suzuha stretches and looks at me with a calm smile.
Maybe I'm not meant to meet him. I mean, you've tried everything and still no sign. It's just not in the cards, I guess.
I felt
No sign. What sign is here?
I felt a surge of anger at her words. Here I am soothing in self-loathing, and she acts like it doesn't matter? How can you give up? We still have one more day.
Why are you getting mad?
Everyone's fighting for you, don't you get it? Me? I want to prioritize Mayuri over everything else. But you're still a lab mem, a friend. When a friend's in trouble, you want to help them. That's how Mayuri felt, and I agree. That's why I'm searching. So how dare you be the first to give up?
You don't have to yell.
Don't disappoint me like this. I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over.
You're channeling your inner father figure to be disappointed in your child.
There's no time for this.
I'm sorry, but maybe you should think about how I feel.
I realize that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath. You're right, I shouldn't have said that. It's too awkward to make eye contact. So I look around, pretending to think. Alright, what's next? I wonder how the other lab mems are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working in that heat for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find some information on Suzuha's father. If I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths, in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we may still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently, all I can do is search for that pin. We decide to try Ikebukuro as our last stop for today. It would be nice to visit home, but I don't have the time, and besides, Suzuha's with me. Our search turns up nothing. As the evening wears on without a single lead, Suzuha and I grow quieter and quieter. We're exhausted from walking, and we can't shake the feeling that all our efforts are futile. This isn't good. By the way, I try stirring up conversation. I should get her to talk about the future. After all, she is a time traveler. This is the one-in-a-lifetime chance. I remember how shocked Kurisu was to learn that she only lives to be 44. And I was told that I become a terrorist. Am I really famous in 2036?
As a terrorist.
Oh. So what did I do to be called a terrorist?
You rebelled against CERN. You're actually one of the founding members of the Resistance, just like my dad.
I helped found the Resistance. I guess it makes sense, given what we're going through now. Suzuha is from the future of this timeline, where Mayuri is doomed to die, and where CERN forces Kurisu to build a time machine. In such a future, how could I not rebel against CERN? Rebellion against the system, destruction of order, a new age of chaos. Weren't those my ambitions as a mad scientist? How stupid.
Stupid?
How can I still be chasing some Chunibyo fantasy when I couldn't even save Mayuri?
You're fighting to free humanity. I think it's a noble cause.
Suzuha is part of the resistance I form. Does that mean she's my subordinate in the future? What sort of man am I? Suzuha's expression darkens.
I said we never met, remember?
Never?
Never. You were killed by CERN in 2025.
I was killed by the same people who killed Mayuri. They had no reservations about murdering an innocent girl. I doubt they would hesitate to kill a terrorist.
Maybe I should have told you sooner. Understand? If you don't change the future, you're going to die in 15 years. Shina Mayuri will die. You will die. Makise Kurisu will be a slave to CERN. It ends badly for every lab mem.
What about Daru?
I don't remember hearing about him. I've heard legends of a wizard-class hacker, though. Though I don't understand what wizard class means in the first place.
Wizard class. I coined that term. I can imagine Daru slowly insinuating himself into every corner of the internet, until he becomes a godlike virtual presence that not even CERN can comprehend.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about what happens to you guys. There's one more reason I need to find an IBN 5100 and change the future. Until I came to this place, you guys were just stories. History. But now, you're my friends. I want to save you.
Appreciated. You are a lab mem now and forevermore.
Thanks.
Question. Are you sure I can finish the time leak machine in the day? We still haven't found our lifter substitute, remember? I can't complete the upgrade without it.
I already told Kurisu that I was confident in her ability to complete the time machine on time. But it occurs to me I forgot to tell her about the 42-inch CRT. Our lifter is the 42-inch CRT downstairs. The electrical discharge phenomenon occurs when it's turned on, so don't worry about it. Just finish the upgrade. There, that should do it. He's gonna yell, "Why didn't you tell me?"
I kind of wish she hadn't told her over text, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried, like, Stern will see that somehow or something.
I send a reply and decide to keep searching for the pin with Suzuha just a bit longer. Time is quickly running out. Is there anything more that we can do? It's early evening, but the roof of Radicon is still hotter than hell. When I provide Dadu with a refreshing gift of Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face.
You're supposed to give me an ice-cold zero-calorie cola. Common sense, man.
Wow, I hate Dr. P, but even I would be grateful, dude. Come on.
I forgot he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. And Daido and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away.
Hey, Ocarine, isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought that Tyler's time-traveling machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect the satellite. I should know better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Tyler only started posting afterwards. I'm disappointed in myself for not realizing the connection.
I'm glad Suzu-san wasn't hurt in the crash.
I doubt it was anything like a crash. It probably just appeared there, displacing the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, the time machine isn't self-propelled. It doesn't fly.
I heard it's really hard to drive.
I guess she heard that from Suzuha.
If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes plop. And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit.
What would you do in 1975?
I'd cheer Suzu-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and super gay and tell her that everything's going to be okay.
Move over,
Hey, well,
Akabe.
that's
Mayushi is
different.
the harem protagonist.
Right? I ship it. But, like, if she went back in time, would that protect her from dying? She died in 1975.
Something tells me that won't be much help.
Hey, Ocarine, do you think the time machine has a name?
A name? That's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. Time permitting, I'd like to spend a whole day picking Suzuha's brain. I'm pretty sure John Titor's time machine had a model number. But the John Titor from 2000 might not have been Suzuha. There was no John Titor in 2000 on this world line, after all. Although I suppose it's possible that Suzuha will drop by 2000 after traveling to 1975. If you want to know, just ask Titor.
Oh yeah, Mayushi didn't think of that.
Mayuri giggles and runs off to talk to Suzuha. She comes back quickly.
Yep, it has a name.
What is it?
FG204 something something, she said.
Something something?
Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzu-san are a good match? But what if he's her dad?
Huh?
That would be creepy.
Mayuri's jumping all over the place today. I look at Daru and Suzuha again. How do you figure? Daru's all about fairness, you know.
See, that's why I was like, oh, I need to know Ferris's real name, because if him and Ferris end up together, then is Ferris her mother? And she does kind of look like she could be his daughter, just because their hair color and eye color are somewhat similar, but hers is brighter. So, I don't know. Oh, really?
She tilts her head to the side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. I would prefer to leave Daru and Suzuha to it and resume the search for Suzuha's father, but Mayuri seems happy just sitting here. We don't have any leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitter talk. Like I told Suzuha, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until we do. Oh yeah, Mayuri, what happened to your costumes? There's only a few more days until Komima. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costumes done. Has that changed?
Huh? I already made 2 costumes, one for Kairi-chan and one for Fubuki-chan.
Weren't you making a third one for Lukako?
Yeah, I was, but I couldn't convince her, so I gave up this time.
This time.
Hey, can Mayushi take a closer look at the time machine?
Just don't get in their way.
Okie dokie!
Mayuri beams happily, then runs over to the time machine.
Please don't let her die right now, like, suddenly the time machine actually falls right when she's there. Like, come on.
She's acting like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. After a few minutes watching the sunset in silence, I realize that Suzuha is standing beside me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky. Oh, 50% of the CGs unlocked.
Oh.
Hashira Itaru's amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow.
He's a man who gets things done.
And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, I have a better impression of him now. Hey. There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance.
Why so melodramatic?
I'm really grateful to you. All of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. There's a lot of that's a wonderful thing, but it scared me. All I knew was the fight against CERN. But now I have friends. Real friends who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that.
Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can.
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. When I met you, you were also strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful, too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
How could I? I'm not even alive in 2036, right?
Right. Sorry. Anyway, people don't fight. Ever. about anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof, without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes like a fish. No one has ambition, nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives without a single complaint.
Oh my god, Coco, they all make the same face as the ones from Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh, sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad. There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot.
They're all like Espella.
Oh god, no, please.
You really got mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
You're a strange girl.
I guess so.
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Dado and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. Shina Mayuri, Hashira Itaru, even Makise Kurisu. And of course you.
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri.
I want to be more like you.
If you ask me, you're the amazing one.
I'm happy to hear you say that. It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong. Being a lab mem, even if just for a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean?
Being with you guys, even just for a little while, was great.
Suzuha?
No, this feels like Death Flags. Stop it.
Change the future, Okabe Rintaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
Hey, come on. Why are you being so sentimental? Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so can't she just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realize how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBN 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and the 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future is an awful place, but even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father barrel tighter. All of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental. And after we fix the time machine, let's have a party.
Thanks.
And yet she's still smiling that sorrowful smile. Well, we will have to go ahead and end it right here.
Yeah, sorry, Marco, you just got here.
Oh no, Marco, I'm sorry.
So sorry, I have to go take care of my mom. She's recovering from surgery, so I gotta go, feed her and stuff.
Yeah. But we will be here next Sunday at 1 p.m. EST to continue.
Yes. At least we made a little progress today and got to know more about Suzuha.
Yeah. And
so yeah, I've narrowed it down. I think it's either Daru or Okabe, who's her dad.
Ooh, interesting. No hints, folks, no hints. But
yeah, no hints.
I'm sure we'll probably be finding out next stream, I think.
Okay, cool.
For the following week on Wednesday over at Tori's channel, it will be Final Fantasy IV, and pretty sure we'll be doing the finale. In fact, it's probably only going to be like maybe 30 or 40 minutes left, since I think we just have to do the final fight. Then on Friday at 8 p.m. EST, we'll be back to Ender Lilies. Saturday at 8 p.m. EST, it will be the Animorphs Charity Reason, and as I said, then Sunday at 1 p.m. EST, back to Steins Gate.
Oh, nothing on Monday?
Nope, nothing on Monday.
Okay.
Well then, hope you all have a wonderful time zone wherever you are, and as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Toodaloo.